You ever wake up one morning and realize you've been sleepwalking through your own life? I was 38 when it hit me. I was pumping gas at 6:42 a.m. outside of Tulsa, the kind of morning where the fog wraps around your bones, and the only sound is the buzz of a flickering sign that's been broken for 3 years. Same uniform. Same shift. Same quiet. I'd been working at that station since I was 20. Started part-time. Then time just kept passing. You blink, and suddenly you're middle-aged, folding yesterday's receipts like they're lottery tickets. But before all that, I used to run. I mean, really run. Not from problems. Not because I had to. I ran because it was the only place I felt like me. Back in high school, they called me Lightning Brooks. Not a nickname I gave myself. I was too shy for that. But I lived for the sound of spikes on the track, the smack of my heartbeat in my ears, the way the world blurred when I hit top speed. I was state champ at 17. Full ride scholarship offers. Coaches said I was Olympic material if I stayed hungry. But hunger can't always compete with reality. That summer, my mama got sick. Real sick. She'd raised me and my little sister on her own. Never complained. Always smiling, always tired. That woman could stretch a single paycheck like magic. When the diagnosis came, I dropped everything. Cancelled campus visits. Called the coaches and told them, "Thank you, but I gotta stay." Took a job at the station. Told myself it was temporary. But temporary has a way of making itself comfortable, doesn't it? Mama passed away a year later. My sister was 10. I became the man of the house. And the track? That stayed behind me, like a dream you don't have time to miss. 20 years later, there I was. Stocking shelves. Counting inventory. Saying have a nice day to strangers who never looked up from their phones. I didn't complain. Not out loud. But some mornings, when it was quiet and I was the only one in the store, I'd unlock my locker and look at this old photo I kept taped inside. Me, mid-sprint, sky on fire behind me. A moment frozen in youth. One day, this kid walks in. Skinny, wiry, maybe 16. Buys a Gatorade and a pack of gum. As I hand him his change, he glances past me. "That you?" he asks, pointing to the photo. I nod. "Used to be." He grins. "You fast?" "Fast enough," I say. Then he tells me his name, Tyrese. He's trying to make his school's track team. Says he's been training by himself. No real coach. Just YouTube and grit. Then he says something that stuck with me. "Sometimes I feel like I'm running, but I ain't going nowhere." That night, I laced up my old running shoes. Didn't even know why at first. Just a pull in my chest I hadn't felt in years. I drove to the old high school track. It was cracked and overgrown, half the lights out, but it still smelled like memories. I tried to run one lap. One. Halfway through, I was wheezing like an old lawnmower. My knees protested. My pride did, too. But when I finished that lap, bent over and gasping, I felt alive. Not fast. Not young. But awake. Tyrese came back the next day. Said his meet was in a month. Asked if I could help him. I laughed. "Kid, I ain't no coach. I haven't touched a stopwatch in 20 years." But he just looked at me and said, "You ran before. That means you know." So we started small. Drills. Footwork. Breathing. I taught him how to listen to the track, how to feel his body in motion. And I remembered. Not just how to run, but why I ever did in the first place. Week after week, we trained. Sunrise sessions. Sprints in the cold. Footsteps pounding the earth like we were chasing something sacred. The town started noticing. Old Mr. Jenkins brought over cones from the storage shed. Some kids cleaned up the bleachers. Eve, we weren't just running laps. We were building something. The day of the regional meet, Tyrese was shaking like a leaf. "You good?" I asked. He shook his head. "What if I choke? What if all this was for nothing?" I grabbed his shoulder and looked him dead in the eye. "Every step you take echoes louder than fear." He blinked, then nodded. Said it back to me like a prayer. He didn't win that race. Came in third. But he finished. Strong. Proud. Shoulders back. Fire in his eyes. Afterward, he told me he didn't feel like he lost. He felt found. A few weeks later, I got a letter from the school board. They wanted me to coach track part-time. Nothing fancy. Just a chance to do what I loved again. And when I told my sister, she smiled through tears. "You gave everything for me," she said. "Maybe it's time to live for you now." So here I am. Still working the morning shift sometimes. Still wearing those old sneakers. But now, after work, I head to the track. I blow the whistle. Watch kids fly. Teach them how to rise every time they fall. Because life ain't about never falling. It's about what you do after. You listening to this right now? Maybe you gave something up. Maybe you feel like it's too late. Like your best days are behind you. I'm here to tell you, they're not. You don't need a gold medal to matter. You just need one brave moment. One foot forward. One step that says, "I'm still here. And I'm not done yet."